Now then YouTube, I'm the Toff Man and welcome back to some more Toff and Shed's adventures in Minecraft. Oh, it's just me. It's just me today, guys. The reason why is because we've done a lot of stuff in between episodes, and unfortunately Shed can't be around to record this little bit, so I said I'd do an episode just to show everybody exactly what we have been doing. So, as you can see, we went out killing a few things because we're after ender pearls. Ender pearls are the main thing, and next episode we're going to be working on getting some more ender pearls. Why are these disappeared? I wonder if the skinners. I wonder if those skinners have been coming nicking all of the stuff. Be disappointed if they are. Either that or I've planted them in the wrong place, look, because there's one right over there. It just so happens to be right on the top of where this edge actually is. Get here. Oops. Oh, they've got on the other side, haven't they? Come on, get it in your right place. There. You belong there. Okay, it's just about night time, guys. Let me go and quickly go in bed and I'll show you exactly what we've been doing in between episodes. It's going to take a while to go through some of the stuff. Come on then, daytime. There we go. So let's go outside first and foremost, and I'll show you what we did to the power storage. So this thing is still not automated, and I'm not sure how I would actually automate this. We're losing 30 RF per tick currently, just static, and that is because of the amount of stuff that we've added to our system. So we are losing that over time. I will have to come on and turn this on. I don't know if there's some way of checking how much power is inside here. I don't know if there's some way of making it with a comparator or something like that. But basically it would output a redstone signal when it was at so much power, which would then turn on the diesel generator, turn on all three of these basically, and create myself some diesel so that we can make the diesel generator run, and then we can get as much power as we can to fill it up, and then it would shut off the redstone signal and so on and so forth. That is what I would like to do. Alas, it's more difficult than that, or it seems to be more difficult than. Oh, get in. We've got some skinny pearls, guys. Now, I found these actually by going around in the long grass, rifling around in there. We've got a little chunk loader here actually because we need it for these ender lilies. Currently, we might have to take that. That could be why I came on and there was no power. That's probably why. Anyway, let's go downstairs because most of it has been downstairs. Oh yeah, and we upgraded the capacitor banks to the vibrant ones, the 5 million ones anyway. A lot of stuff has been going on behind the scenes, and I'll show you that in just a second. But we've added a few things. So we've got the crafting grid here, and that's what mainly we had. But I added a few things into this. We've got the pattern grid, which allows me to create patterns out of the normal recipes. So I can create patterns out of that and auto-craft certain items. We'll get to that in a second. And we've got the processing pattern, which allows me to basically set, with machines, what goes into a machine, what comes out of a machine, put it into a pattern, and then it will auto-craft that particular thing for me. So that's something I've been working on in between episodes. If we go back here, a lot of stuff is going on back here, guys. So we've got the normal crafters, these things from refined storage that you can stick onto your system, pointing away from it. So basically you've got that there and it'll point away from it with this little thing going into the middle of nowhere. And what you do with this is you put some patterns inside there which take things out of your system and crafts the particular item that's inside there. Okay, so basically it's just an auto crafter. I can go in there, I can say, oh, give me 20 construction cores. It will take all of the stuff out of my system to be able to do that, make it and craft those for me, and then put it back into the system. That's basically how it works. So I've got a full range of things all the way up. So look at this, we've got a 64k storage part and a 64k storage disk. We actually put one of them on autocraft. A hell of a lot easier, guys, making it on autocraft than it is doing manually, that's for sure. So we've got quite a few interesting stuff, and you know, stuff that we need to have really on autocraft. So we've got speed upgrades, energy upgrades, all that type of stuff. And then we've just started a new one here. We've got the sugar cane into sugar. Over here is where we do the particular machines. So there's currently 3 different machines that we've got using auto crafting at the minute. One of them is the crusher from Mechanism, which has been updated, guys. And as you can see with the new mod that's been added, top left hand side, that's not Whaler. I don't know what that mod is, but it's absolutely fantastic. It actually does tell you it's a crusher, which is nice. But this one, basically, if we go to the crafter that's behind it, the crafter must be facing into the machine. Bear that in mind, and the back side of it must be facing into your cables. So this one is making osmium dust, gold dust, silicon, gravel, and sand. by doing this. So basically it will just, you know, it inputs cobblestone, gets gravel out. And how it does that is it will input cobble into there, and it will output into this chest at the end here, which has an import bus or an importer just on the bottom side of it, which will then import it back into the system, and everything is ledge. So we've got the alloy smelter set to furnace mode only right next to it. We actually need an alloy smelter set to alloys only also as well. But this just basically acts like an auto smelter, an electric smelter. That is just basically making glass at this moment in time. We've got nothing else going in there. We've got the metallurgic infuser. Now, there's different ways that you can do this. However, I wanted to do it one particular way. And there's probably a better way of doing this. I think there probably is, because you can tell it, you know, put inputs and stuff like that. But really, I wanted to do it this way because it's just a hell of a lot easier in the long run. On the back side of on the underside of this is an exporter, and that is set to export redstone, right, into the bottom, which is set up to be the purple slot, as you can see, purple, which will then put redstone into this area, which will keep this full of redstone at all times. So this is basically a metallurgic infuser, which will allow recipes that take redstone. There's other things, coal, for instance, tin dust and so on. We're not going to do all that sort of stuff though. We're basically just sticking to the coal, the redstone. Also, diamond is another one, but I don't think we're going to put that on like autocraft that way. I think I might do it the long way around when it comes to diamonds, because it's a lot of diamonds to actually use to keep this full. But this is basically set. It's connected to this one here, so it doesn't actually need a cable running into the back of it. Same with those over there, but I mean, they've got the cables because, you know, the drawers are right behind them anyway. This is set to make enriched alloys and also basic control circuits. Just makes things a hell of a lot easier. Now, this contraption over here is absolutely immense, guys. Took a while to figure out. But basically, if we craft anything, it comes up here. This is basically all of the solderers that's set to make all of the different bits. So we've got a crafter here, which is set to make printed advanced, printed improved, printed basics, also printed silicon. It also makes the basic processors, the improved processors, and the advanced processors. And the way it does this is it puts the stuff into the chest, and because it thinks, oh great, you know, I'm going to auto craft myself an improved, a printed advanced processor. So everything to make it goes into this chest because it thinks that's a machine. So it goes into this chest. This then gets taken out of the chest on here. So you can see, extract. Everything gets extracted. But there's certain things that will allow it to... Oh, hang on a minute. That's active with a signal. That doesn't really want to be connected to that. So let's stop that bit. Yeah, there we go. That's much better. So everything does get extracted from here. Now, where it ends up depends on what it is that it's going to be made. So along here, gold will go into here. And on the top slot, which is the middle slot right here, which will then, of course, create the gold blobs. Those things. So gold will go into there if it lands in that chest. It will then get outputted at the bottom side, so that's the bottom, into this chest, which has an importer on the bottom back into the system. Okay. The next one, the iron, will go into here. That will make the little basic process of parts, or whatever the hell they are. Diamond goes into here, and of course silicon goes into there. That makes all of the basic parts. Now, what happens if I want to make myself one of these advanced ones, one of these actual processors? Well, it's pretty much simple, guys. It makes all of those, puts them out into the system, back into there, and then we'll put them back into here to be able to craft these, of course. It will put them back into this chest. Now, there is a basic item filter on here, which will allow me to filter out. So it will take out redstone, it will take out the advanced processors, improved, basics, and also the printed silicons. It will take them out of there. If it ends up in this chest, it will take them out. Of course, it's not going to go down here because nothing is a redstone, gold, or anything like that. It won't take it out and put it over there. It will bring it to this machine. So there's different ways. The left-hand side is the top slot, so it will put the basic processor or the improved processor or, of course, the advanced processor into the top slot in the solderer, right there. In the middle slot, it will put the redstone. and in the bottom slot, which is that one, it will put the printed silicon, which will then go ahead and craft any of these 3 things. So that is basically an auto crafter now for the solderer, which is a hell of a lot easier, guys. Honestly, it's so much more easier. And we'll just make for, you know, future recordings and stuff like that to be just a hell of a lot quicker with us, so we can, you know, get into the into making things rather than crafting things for, you know, the vast majority of the episode. So with that in mind, all of that is now done. All of this is now done. We still have to add things to this. So we need another metallurgic infuser with coal, of course. We need another alloy smelter, which will do the alloys only, so we can get vibrant alloys on the auto craft and stuff like that. I need to fix this wall back up. I need to fix this room. But I need a better way of automating this sort of thing. If it has... I wonder if we find... Let me just have a look. Because... Applied Energistics used to have something like an item counter that you can use to stick on a line. External storage, a detector. Maybe it's that. It might be a detector. Now, when it detects a certain amount of objects in the system, it will give off a redstone signal. So that would be really good for this, because if say, for example, there's so many pumpkin seeds and I don't want to make any more pumpkin seeds, I can tell the redstone signal to go off, which will shut off this. So basically it will stop the hopper. At the moment I've just got a lever there, but I can just basically tell it to shut off the hopper. Now, not only that, but I can then run the redstone signal over to the farm that's creating the pumpkins to turn the farm off as well. I think that might be a good way of doing it. And that will, of course, stop me from getting inundated with so many pumpkins that I really don't know what I'm doing with. And also, of course, potatoes being another thing. Once we've got so many potatoes in the system, detect it, give out a redstone signal, and then it will turn off the farm for the potatoes, so it won't constantly use potatoes. Of course, it can be used for other bits and bobs. Say, for example, I want to detect how much of the fertilizer is in that farm at all times, so it can just put more fertilizer in when it needs it. That ends up being a little bit more faffing around, but it'll allow me to do that eventually. So we've got 16% full, and that's basically because this thing is nearly full, so we just went ahead and made another 64k storage disk. I do want to get fluids inside here as well, because it'd be really nice to get a backup of plant oil and also the ethanol, and also diesel. It'd be really nice to get a big backup of that, so when the big diesel generator turns on, we've got so much diesel already in reserve, so that it will just take it from the system, and we don't need to turn off all of the machines all at once. It's going to be a hell of a lot of faffing around, guys, and it's going to take a while, but all of this will become worth it in the end, because we will have so much power all the time, renewable power, that basically we've got so much pumpkin seeds, we've got so many potatoes, we really cannot run out of power. There's no excuse if it's ever running out of power. So there's that, but also it makes, like I said, it makes for easier episodes in the future, because we can just go in here, we get what we want, and then, we go. We're getting quite a lot of stuff here. We might need an exporter onto the different smelteries that we have. So that one will deal with some particular things that don't create alloys and so on and so forth, and then import them back into the system, and then so on. We've got another one here. I'm not a lover. I said it would be ace to make a smeltery room, but at the moment this isn't looking like a room, to be quite honest, and I'm not a lover of it at this moment in time. But it might just need these other smelteries to be finished before it actually looks like that. So going up here as well, guys, we put a range upgrade onto this thing, which seems to have gone kaput for some reason. Fuel. We need to start outputting some sort of fuel into this goddamn thing, because honestly, guys, it's getting annoying having to do this all the time. So let's get another stack of tiny coals, put that into there. You can, of course, using a machine, I believe it's from RF Tools, automate the process of making axes to put inside here. I believe it's from RF Tools. So all of this can be always automated. And the range is currently a 6, so we're getting more and more wood for our book, which is great. But I think that's about it. The thing is, it took so long to be able to do the auto crafting. and get that set up, that it really wasn't worth putting that sort of thing on camera. It was more of a case of doing it and then just telling you guys, this is what this does, explaining how it works, and there's another zombie around the place. Where are you? Is it up there? It's somewhere. It must be the other side of the wall. It's got to be the other side of the wall. But there we go, guys. That is pretty much just an update on what is going on. Call it, you know, like a 0.5 episode. I don't know what the last episode was. 11, maybe? So this is like 11.5, I would think. But next episode, Shed will be back, and we're going to work towards getting an Enderman spawner. That is right, guys, an Enderman spawner. And there's a way of doing it, I believe, with Ender.io that you can get... like, we've got Broken Spawner kicking around somewhere. Where is it? Unless he's kept it on his person. No, he's got one. But this one's a skeleton spawner. And I believe that you can infuse it with the soul of an Enderman to change the spawner. If not, there is such a thing in RF Tools. Not in RF Tools. In Actually Additions. There it is. Spawner Changer. Now, I'm really not sure what this is. But I want to mess around with it and find out what it actually does, because it sounds awesome. We do need the Empowerer, though, to be able to do it. And that's what we're going to be working on next episode. We're going to work on the Empowerer to get all of this sort of stuff that we can get here. And we're going to work on getting a spawner changer to see if it actually will change this broken spawner, or if it just works on spawners that are in the world already, and change the spawner of that. I'm really not sure how it works. You know, it's probably a good idea if I go into it and have a look, see how it works first before, you know, crafting one of these things. But I believe that we can use the broken skeleton spawner to make an Enderman spawner. I could be totally wrong by that, but if you infuse an Enderman soul into one of these spawners, it will make it into an Enderman spawner. Fingers crossed that's the way. If not, let me know in the comment section. We've probably recorded the next episode by then, but it's no harm in letting me know anyway how much of an idiot I am. Yeah, if you could, that would be ledge. But anyway, guys, that is going to be it for the end of this episode. If you're enjoying this series so far, please go ahead and leave a like. It would be brilliant if you could. I'm actually running very low on time at the moment, because with work at the moment, it is Christmas time. It's one of the busiest times of the year for this particular profession that I'm in. So please be aware of that. If uploads do slow down, and you know they're not every day like what I've been trying to do for the past few weeks and so on. Please keep that in mind. I do work hard when it comes around this time of year. So, and I'm also ill at this moment in time, which never actually it's not good. It's not good. But anyways, that aside, it's going well. So guys. Next episode, we'll do that. We'll get into some more bits and bobs, and we will work on some more bits. And I will, fix the area up down there so it looks a little bit half decent. Fingers crossed. Right. Anyways, until next time, guys. Thank you very much for watching. I've been the Toff Man as always. Stay safe.